Hello and welcome back to another edition of the E Show, episode number 12. A new week brings on a new guest, and let's welcome in Andrew Trimble, the head coach and GM of the New England Wolves, to the E Show. Welcome to the E Show, Andrew.
Thanks for having me, Neil.
So we'll jump right into it. This is your first season now coaching at the EHL level. You have some prior experience, of course, at the Premier level. What differences have you seen in terms of recruiting and just the overall play on the ice?
Well, that's an interesting question, Neil. We try to have like a 2-year plan. When I took over the position coming from the elite level or the Premier level, we had not had the success we're looking for on the ice at the top team level. So we really tried to kind of build from youth, acquire more skill, make it like a two-year build where we're getting better this year, but we're also retaining a lot of quality young talent so that we can be better on the ice this year, but really next year be able to really push for a special season and have a really dynamic impact. So, I think our steps in that timeline have really worked out to our favor. We've gotten better on the ice. We have 14 wins this season, which is the most ever recorded by the Wolves in the EHL. And it's more than last year, and we're really pushing for a playoff spot. So I think that our team has been better on the ice. And, it's a big step up for the guys who came up for that Premier or the elite level. They, we took about 5-6 of those kids from that really good team we had last year at that level, and they've made an impact. So it's been an eye-opening experience for a lot of kids, but I think they've really handled the jump well.
And I'm glad that you brought up how many wins you guys have so far this season. Obviously, you'd love for the record to be maybe a little bit more, being under 500 right now, but you can definitely see how the Wolves team has progressed as the year has gone on, and they've gotten better. As of today, 41 games in, what do you like about where your team is at this current moment?
I think we're, like to use a phrase that these kids would use, we're trending in the right direction. I think we gave away some points early in the year in games that we probably should have, but the kids were learning how to lead, learning how to win. They were learning how to kids were fitting into different roles. And, honestly, as a coach, we had only one returning kid from last year's team. So it was, 22, 23 new kids who I had to find spots for and find roles for and figure out what they're good at. And, I think they would like to have some of those points back at the beginning of the year. I would too, but, that was a work in progress. And now you can see past Christmas, we're over 500. The team is really competing with some of the top teams in the league. Like, we had a great game against the Little Flyers. We played well and hard against the Junior Rangers. We've gotten better each game against the New Hampshire Avalanche, who are all really top teams and really quality programs. So I think we're trending in the right direction, and we're really pushing towards the playoffs. And, we're hungry here. The kids really want to get after it.
And you talk about pushing towards the playoffs. It's funny looking at the standings right now. Of course, you're obviously in a battle for that last spot with the Valley Junior Warriors. It's just so identical. You each have played 41 games. You each have 9 games left. You each have a record of 14, 25, and 2. Of course, you guys do hold the tiebreaker as of today, but what's going to be the big key down the stretch here in these final 9 games?
The key is really, how we manage our rest and how we prepare for them. Valley's an interesting team. We've had success against them, but they've really gotten points against some of the best teams in the league that we haven't had success against.
Yeah.
So although we've had success so far against them, the kids realize that that's a good team and we got to bring it every single night. And, they're getting points against, the Avalanche, and they're getting points against the Rangers and really good teams. So we have to keep going, and the kids recognize that. I think it really comes down to preparation and how our mental focus at this point of the year.
I'm glad that you brought that up too, because I called the Warriors versus Avalanche game this past week. The Warriors are the only team the Avalanche have not beat this season. But shifting gears more towards the player focus now, you already have a couple commitments in the books, as Matone will be going to Fitchburg State, Powers to SUNY Canton. I know you don't want to give away too much while on the podcast here, but who's next? What players should we keep an eye on here down the final stretch?
Well, all our age outs are talking to schools. We don't have a ton of age outs, but kids like Xander Allen, Noah Morning, Brendan Boncourt, Colton Egg. All our age outs are talking to schools. So it's really about them just finalizing getting their applications and finalizing the financial aid component to what in terms of making what school choice they're going to go to. We do have some other kids who are 98s who told me going into the season, hey coach, I want to go to school next year, and we're not here in our program. We're not for holding kids back. So if a kid wants to go to school next year, they want to play in the North American League or a different league, we want to help do whatever we can to get them to that point. So we do have some 98s like Blake Harlow and Matt Needleman who are talking to a lot of schools, and a lot of schools want them on their campus next fall. So we're probably going to lose those kids, but that's a positive for our program.
Well, there you have it, folks. If you have a calendar in front of yourselves right now, make sure to circle February 18th and 24th. 2 big games for the Wolves coming up against the Valley Junior Warriors, both of those at home. Of course, though, their focus is set on this weekend first, a home-and-home series against the Boston Junior Rangers, kicking off this afternoon at 2:45 in Tewksbury. Good luck this weekend and down the stretch, Andrew.
Thanks, Neil, for having me. Have a great day.